Today we're going to be checking out this brand new LG QNED 75-inch mini LED TV. Thank you so much for LG for sponsoring today's video. That means they sent this to me so I could show you what it could do. So here we have the quantum dot nanocell mini LED technology, the A7 Gen 4 processor, which makes the picture quality really awesome, the ThinQ AI, which is a built-in voice assistant, true cinema experience, and then ultimate gameplay experience. So it has VRR, LLM, FreeSync, and Game Optimizer. And then over here it works with all our smart home assistants. So we have Google Assistant, works with Amazon Voice Assistant. Here we have works with AirPlay, as well as works with Apple HomeKit. This is powered by WebOS. It's the 75-inch model, and then it has a variety of applications that you can download. Some of the favorites are listed here, and it has the cool Magic remote control that we saw on the LG C1 last year. Let's go ahead, get this unboxed and installed. Now to get this set up, you will need two very strong people. I asked for the help of my beautiful assistant, Carrie, my wife, as she's the strongest one in the family. Since we have the TV here on the ground, let me go ahead and show you some of the ports that are on the back of this TV. First, we have the power plug, which is on the right side of the middle. So if you have the power cable on the left or right, I think it will fit no problem. Next, you have the mounting bracket options. This is a 400 by 400 millimeter VESA mount that you would want to mount on. Then down here at the bottom, this is where you would want to attach the legs if you're going to do that. We're going to be mounting ours today. That's the way I recommend using your TV for safety purposes. Then here we have all of our different ports. So the first port here is we have RS232C, and then we have a LAN, then we have the antenna cable in, then we have USB in 3 and 2, then over here we have the optical, then we have 4 HDMI, which is the first one here is the 4K at 120 Hertz, number 4, then we have a 4K at 120 Hertz, number 3, which is the eARC or ARC port, so that's where I'm going to be plugging in my sound bar. And then next we have HDMI 2 and HDMI 1. And then last we do have a USB 1 over there. So those are the ports you have. Up here at the top we have these interesting little things, and there is actually a slim wall mount that you can get for this to attach it to your wall. But since I don't have that, they do have little things that you can place over those. And then if you ever get that mount, you can pop them off later and install those. And then here at the very bottom, there are downward firing speakers, a 2.2 surround sound system. So 2 speakers and 2 small woofers, I guess. And then right here in the middle, we do have a power where we can turn it on and off. So let's go ahead and get my mount set up and get this mounted. If you do want to just use the included stands, here is what they look like. Pretty sleek, nice design. You'll need a little more than a foot to be able to place that down. But I also like how it comes with these little wired management cables so that you can have the wires be routed back behind the TV through the stand, and they will be out of the way. And then here we have the remote with the included batteries. Now to mount this, LG sent out this large full motion wall mount to use with it. I'm gonna replace the one that I have on the wall that's getting a bit old. So here it's going to be 15 inches to the bottom of the TV. So I'm going to go 15 inches up from where I want to have the TV rest. I like to have it a little lower than typical.
Okay.
Press the OK button, wheel, on your remote. OK.
And here we have our LG QNED mini LED TV set up and ready to go. Now, when you are on an input that doesn't have any information or signal, it is going to show this nice screensaver, and this is actually customizable, so you can get it to kind of display the pictures you want. And I really like how this looks. So let's go ahead and check out the operating system that we have here with this TV. So if we click the home button on our Magic Remote, here you can instantly see there are some recommended programs right here. And then down here we have the apps list. Now here it's automatically going to start playing some of the ads from LG channels and other things like that. And up here at the top we have some other information about how to get set up with the Alexa TV app and other things to get it fully working. And here it's also having us search if we want to search for more info. So then if we come down to this row, we have all kinds of different recommended videos that we want to watch. And then we have our app list. So going through the App Store, so if we scroll over here and go to apps, there are a ton of different apps that you can get. Now, there are only probably one or two apps that I wasn't able to find in here that I would typically be using on my smart home, but pretty much everything else is working here. You can see YouTube Kids, Plex, Fubo TV, a ton of other apps that I've never used, but a very wide variety. YouTube TV, Amazon Prime, and so on. So we're gonna click back to home, and then let's say we want to organize these apps. We can then simply scroll up here and scroll all the way to the end. So when you download new apps, they go to the end. And I want to move Stadia up. So I'm going to push and hold the main button, scroll to the front, and then I'm going to drop it where I want. Now there is an option where it can automatically edit the app list and put them in a different order depending on how you use them. So we're actually going to apply that. So there you can see here are our most used apps, and then we can still customize them if we want to at all, which is really cool. So we're going to close that. And then down here under the apps list, we have our different inputs. So here's where we can go to our ThinQ Home dashboard. And then next is where we can check out our connection guide so we can get all our things set up. And so here's where we can do AirPlay. This allows us to mirror our iOS devices to the TV here. And here on the iPad, simply pull this down, mirror my screen. There's the LG TV. It's asking me to type in the code. And instantly that mirrors. You can see it is very responsive. Ouch. And then here you can also adjust some of the settings. And here we have set up HomeKit. So now I'm going to go on my iPad. Now it's asking to name the inputs, and done. So let's go ahead and try to turn it off. That works great. Hey Siri, turn on LG TV.
Turning on the family room TV.
That works with no problem. And then if you have a cable box or antenna, this is where you can go to live TV. Here I have input for my sound bar. I don't really need to go with that since it automatically does that in the settings. And then HDMI 4 here is where I actually have my Nintendo Switch. So that's going to be the gaming mode. And if it was on, it would show up right there. And then it's searching my network for other media servers. And then here I have TV speakers. So by default, it's going to play out of the TV. But since I did plug in a soundbar, I'm just going to simply click on this TV speaker, and then it's going to pop up the sound options where I can use the TV speaker, I can use wired speakers, use wireless speakers, or even use multiple speakers. So here I do have a wired speaker over the eARC connection. And then here I'm going to choose that the HDMI ARC for devices. So since we're here in the settings, let's go ahead and turn on eARC. So if you do have an eARC supported device, it's going to give you a higher quality audio. So we're going to head to sound, and then we're going to go to the advanced settings, and then we're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom here. And here we have the option to turn on the eARC support, and I have already turned that on. So That's going to give you the best sound possible. Let's head back to our home page here. And then last we have a user guide. Now, other things that you can do on the main screen here is it's showing you new releases and movies. You have popular cinema and so on, and searching from YouTube, Amazon Prime. So certain apps that I have downloaded on the TV, it's automatically going to recommend different TV shows that I can watch here. And then down here, it's even recommending websites for the web browser, which is cool. So now let me go ahead and play my little demo video so you can just see how bright and crisp this 75-inch QNED mini LED TV is. Now, after we watched our first movie, I did notice it was a bit dim. Of course, the movie was made in 1963, but I realized in the settings under the picture mode, I had it set to a power saving mode. So that makes it a little more dim and not quite as vibrant. And then I switched it to this vivid mode, and you can just see how bright it is. So here you can see some of the other modes. Here's the standard mode. We have the auto power saving mode. Then we have the cinema mode, sports mode, which that's really bright and vibrant. And then here we have the game optimizer, the filmmaker mode, expert, bright space, and daytime mode. And then here we have the expert, dark space, and nighttime mode. So if you don't want it quite as bright, you have that option. And so once we switched it to the vivid power mode, we've been very impressed. Everything during the middle of the day looks so bright and crisp and clear. You can definitely not see any of those mini LEDs on the TV because of how great of quality they are. One thing I want to point out here is how deep those blacks are on the background here. That's one of the great things about this mini LED technology, and the full array dimming, it's able to give you a much more natural color versus black sometimes looking a little washed out, but this looks really incredible. Now that we have the TV up and running, let's talk about how you can control the TV. And here we have the LG Magic Remote. Now this is one of my favorite ways to control a smart TV. So first of all, you can see that we have this mouse feature on the TV, and that shows up just by scrolling the little wheel. And then as you move around, it will then kind of act as your cursor, and you can realign it by going to the corner, moving down. And now as I point, kind of like an old Wiimote on your Wii controller, you can then see where it's going, and I can simply press to select. Now with this little wheel here in the middle, you can then scroll up and down with it. It has this nice satisfying click, and then you can use the D-pad here to scroll through the different menu up and down there. So then some other things, here we have our volume on the left side here. And then we have our channel on the right side with the mute in the middle, and our voice commands right here on the front. So let's say we want to watch a movie or something with the kids. All I have to do is hold down the voice command, Bad Guys trailer.
I look up Bad Guys trailer in YouTube.
And there you can see it quickly found what I wanted to look for, and I can choose the video right there. Now at the top, you have the power button, you have your number keys. If you do hold down 0, it jumps to this little menu here where you have quick access. Now with quick access, I can quickly add certain things I want to get to. So let's go ahead and add our first quick access item. So let's say we want to go to YouTube. So now we can easily get to that without having to go back to the home page and then go to the different apps. So then let's go ahead and add another one. And right here we have HDMI 4, so that will take us to the Nintendo Switch. So we can add that on there. I want to add Stadia, which I think is awesome. You can now download the Stadia app as well as the GeForce gaming app, so you can game right on the TV without a gaming system or anything else plugged in. So 0 is where you get to this menu, but then you just hold down the number you want to go to. So let's say we want to go to Disney Plus, and I'm just sitting on whatever menu. If I hold down 3 on the keypad, then it's going to quickly jump to Disney Plus, which is really cool. Let's say I want to go to number 5, so I'm going to hold down number 5 on the keypad, and then it's going to jump right into Stadia. And there we can see that loads really quick. So that's such a cool feature. It's like speed dial on your cell phone, but for your favorite TV app. So then some other things you have on the remote is right here, you have a list button. So if I hold that down, it's then going to pop open a TV guide. So I can quickly see what is on. And this guide will show channels from live TV as well as LG channels. So there's lots of content available. And you can adjust channels. You can see the guide, you can go to channels, and there's even a TV scheduler that you have available here. And then over on the other side here, we have the settings. So if I press that, it's then going to pop open the settings on how we can use the remote and so on, and how we can set up universal control, which allows us to control other devices with our Magic TV remote. When you go through the setup, you initially do this, but this is how you can update this if you need to later. So then we have the home button, just takes us back to the home. We do have an input button. So here we have all the different inputs on the TV that we could easily switch to. Now, if you hold down the source button, it is going to take you into the home dashboard powered by ThinQ AI. So as what this does, it shows the current input. It gives you the option for the inputs over here. You can quickly jump to AirPlay, use Sound Share, Media Player, Arc, all these things. And then here it gives us an option to connect through a mobile app. So the app is actually another way in which you can control all this. So then here you have your scroll wheel and the D-pad. Then you have your back button. Then you have the settings. So we'll go through all those, but then you have them over here on the side of the TV. And then you have these red, green, yellow, and blue buttons. So certain times it will say, hey, push the red button to hide the menu pop-up. So those don't do anything right now, but on certain apps, you do have that option. And then down here, we have a Netflix button. So if we push that, it's simply going to load up Netflix. Here we have a Prime Video button. It's going to load up Prime Video. There we have Disney Plus. That was really quick, but then it had to reload, I guess. And then here we have LG channels. So LG channels gives you free TV without having to pay for any service. As long as you just use this app, then you can scroll through, find something you want to watch, and then you can play that video. And now the last two buttons on the remote. The first one is Google Assistant. So if we press that, it's then going to pop up the info on how to use Google Assistant on your TV. And here it's going to run you through what to do, and it gives you a little more access to your smart home. So I'm going to select yes, I understand, and I'm going to allow, and then I will need to set up with the assistant on my device. So here on my phone, I received an automatic pop-up to connect assistant on LG TV. So we're going to select connect, and now we are all done. So now if I press the Google Assistant button, it's going to pop up some different things that I can do with the Google Assistant. So then to use Google Assistant, I just need to hold down the Google Assistant button. What is the weather going to be like on Saturday?
Saturday in Orem, it'll be mostly sunny with a high of 65 and a low of 42.
So that gave us a verbal response as well as on screen. And then we could also use our remote to select a few different things or recommended options down here. Let's go ahead and try turning off the lights. Turn off the lights.
Okay, turning 4 lights off.
And since we are in the same room, it knows to turn off the lights here in this room. So that's great that Assistant works. And here in the Google Home app under Family Room, there you can see the LG WebOS TV. One other feature you can turn on through the app is the ability to control the TV with your voice assistant. So if we select the menu here, and then we select LG ThinQ TV settings, here we have the option set to use smart speaker. So if we turn that on and then we enable this function, and once you do that, you can then control it with your voice. Hey Google, turn off LG TV.
All right, turning the LG TV off.
And now let's go with the last button on the remote, which is the Amazon voice assistant. So if we press that, it's then going to prompt us on the TV to get Alexa set up. So here we can use it to play music, control your smart home devices, play games, and more. And then here we're going to use our phone to sign into our account. And we are connected, so now it's teaching us how to do it. So I can hold down the button. What's the weather in Miami?
skies. Today, you can expect mostly sunny weather, with a high of 87 degrees and a low of 76 degrees.
Showed the weather on screen as well as vocally. And then if we press the Amazon Voice Assistant button again, it's going to take us to this page where it's going to teach us about other things that we can do on the TV. So there are just a ton of different commands, just like you're used to on your speakers, but now you can do that all from the remote on your QNED mini LED TV. And here in the app, we can change the name. So we're going to call this LG, and you have the do not disturb settings and captions and so on. And now let's go ahead and control it by voice. Alexa, turn on LG TV.
Okay.
And now we have set up the control for all the different voice assistants. Now the other way to control your TV is with the ThinQ app. So we already set this up when we set the TV up, and this is showing all kinds of different things that you can watch and other things you can do with LG. But here we have our TV. So I've used this a ton where I come in and I turn off the TV when the kids are watching and other things. So it's nice that it's all right here, but I really like how at any time I can adjust the volume, I can mute and unmute, I can go home and use my microphone. And then I also have the option to do the full remote, even with the magic mouse. I don't know if you can see it on there. We'll go slow and you can kind of see the magic mouse show up there on the TV. I could use the D-pad, I can use my voice, I have the numbers here, and I have my buttons all right there. So it's so cool that you have everything right here on the TV that you would use on the remote. And then here you have a few other options. So here it lets you view your phone's screen on the larger TV. So here with my Samsung tablet, I do see that I can see the WebOS TV there, and I can click mirror. I just need to accept. And there we have a bit of inception going on, but that is able to mirror no problem. Let's see, I can go over here and I can push the full screen option. So that's really great, that is working. Then you have an option to play the phone sound on the TV speaker. So if I turn this on, then it's going to play whatever my sound is and play it over on the TV. So let's go ahead and play some music. So I start playing that here on my phone, and it's using Bluetooth to play over on the TV. And you can even turn off the screen or pause and play right from the TV. Then here we have the option to play photos or videos right from our phone onto the TV. But this is one thing I think is really cool, is you can listen to the TV privately on your phone. So then when I turn this on, it's then going to play the music from the TV right to my phone. So let's go ahead and play something. All right, so here we are playing something on the TV, but the volume is coming out on the phone. So if I had headphones or anything, I would then be able to hear it without anyone else being able to hear it in the room or waking up somebody that might be sleeping in the room. So that's really cool that that feature is built in here. And then we can simply turn it off right there and it goes back to the TV. And then here, if we want to quickly jump to different apps, we can see all the apps we have on the TV. We can do that, and we can switch our inputs as well. Now, one thing that's cool is it adds a widget to your notification tray where I can simply change the volume here on an Android device, change the channel, and turn on and off the TV, all from that widget, which makes it super simple and easy to use if you can't find the remote. Next, let's dive into the settings. Here we have Gaming Optimizer. So this only works on HDMI inputs. Let's go ahead and turn that on. So here, when we are gaming on an HDMI input, we have the Gaming Optimizer. So here it's showing 60 FPS, 10 black stabilizer, and we can adjust this quickly by changing the mode. So here we have RTS, and you can see what adjusts when you change. And then you can see that it's adjusting the gaming a little bit. So here we have variable refresh rate off, low latency on, and so on. So you can kind of really see what makes your gaming look the best for your preference. So as what we are adjusting is the game genre. So we have standard, FPS, first-person shooter, RPG, role-playing game, RTS, real-time strategy, and so on. So this, of course, is a RPG that I'm playing here. So here we have the RPG. So here you can adjust the black stabilizer. So if it's not getting you the color you want, you can come in here and adjust that. And you also have the white stabilizer, and you can reset it. You can also reduce blue light. If you're gaming for a long session at a time, you need help sleeping, that's a great option. You can turn on and off that gaming dashboard. And then here you have the turn on off the variable refresh rate. And one great thing about this TV is it has the AMD FreeSync Premium. So you can turn this on for supported different games and other things. Oh, look, I'm dying. I didn't even know that. So there you go. That is the game optimizer. And here you can turn on the energy savings. So here you have auto. You can see that the screen did dim a little bit. If you want to do a lot or the least amount, you can then do medium. And here you can do maximum. So there you can see just how much more dim the screen gets. So if you're like, wow, this just isn't bright, come in here to the energy saving settings and turn that off. And instantly the TV will brighten up and you'll just be very impressed with how it is. And then here you have an option to turn off the screen. Cool. Push a button, it will turn back on. And here under accessibility settings, you do have audio guidance you can turn on. You have TV power sound, high contrast, grayscale, invert colors, and you have closed caption. And then when you're done watching TV, you can simply press the power button and the TV will turn off. After using the LG QNED Mini LED TV for a few weeks, I'm very impressed with what this can do. I think it just really is amazing at how well that backlit mini LED technology combined with the quantum dot nano cell tech is able to produce such rich and vibrant colors. Everything has just really looked outstanding on this device. A feature that also helps the TV be so bright is the Full Array Dimming Pro. This is able to have many different zones on the backlight so that it's able to produce a much brighter and rich color. Inside the TV, there is an Alpha 7 Gen 4 AI processor, and this is able to help upscale anything that you're watching on the TV to give it a nice, crisp, and clear image. I think this really stands out when we were playing Nintendo Switch, where it is only a 1080p console, where it's able to make it just look much more sharp on the image. And also if we're streaming any other content that is at a normal 1080p, it's being upscaled a little bit so that it's able to process super quick with that processor. One feature that I absolutely love about LG TVs is that they have Dolby Vision IQ as well as Dolby Atmos built into the TVs. Now, this Dolby Vision, I can definitely tell the difference between a TV that has that Dolby Vision and one that does not. So when watching a movie that supports this Dolby Vision, you can really tell how much better that does make the entire experience, makes it feel more like the cinema, and overall, it's just been a really great thing to have on this TV. Now, built in, you do have that Dolby Atmos support, but I love having my system here that does have Dolby Atmos as well. So I definitely felt engulfed in the cinema experience while watching videos, as my speakers from the rear and on the front have all the speakers that are surrounding me so that I have a great experience, and that's all powered and processed on the QNED Mini LED TV. And to help with that cinema experience, they have included Filmmaker mode. And as what this does is when you enable this, it turns off any motion smoothing that the TV has and also makes sure the movie's in the correct aspect ratio and color profile so that everything looks a little bit more like the director intended, especially that refresh rate, because the TVs could have higher refresh rates, but it cuts it down to whatever the film was actually made so that you're gonna have that better, more cinema-like experience as the director intended it to be. Now the TVs I've been trying out in this room are getting bigger and bigger, and here this is the largest at 75 inches, and it still fits the room perfectly. I love the simplistic design. The C1 was a little slim, could get bent, but this one is a little easier to manage. And then I love how you have this screensaver here that can make it feel like you just have a picture frame right in the room, and it just looks very sleek and it doesn't look too out of the ordinary, and the size has just been really perfect. Next, we have the different gaming options with this TV. I really enjoyed the game optimizer. This was so cool to be able to customize exactly how I like to view my games, because every game is a little different. So it's nice that you have those customizable options to make it look exactly the way you want it to look. Now with that, there is the AMD FreeSync Premium. Now I didn't get to try that as much. I don't have this plugged into my computer, and I don't have a next gen gaming console to be able to try out those features. But when I was playing the built-in Stadia, everything looked really great. I had such a great experience being able to simply open the app, turn on my Stadia controller, and boom, I'm gaming. I don't have to have a bunch of consoles and other things like that to experience some awesome gaming here on the QNED mini LED TV. So it's so cool that LG has been able to do that. Now I wasn't able to get the GeForce app to work. I don't have a controller that supports that, and I guess I need a keyboard or something like that, but I wasn't able to fully get it to work. And the last benefit of the TV and gaming is having that HDMI 2.1. Now for me, is where I use that is using the eARC with my sound bar and my sound system, so I have the best sound possible here in this room with this sound bar because of that setting. But then if you are gaming with those higher end game consoles, it's able to push every single gigabyte possible to the TV so that it can reproduce the best image available. Now overall, I've really enjoyed this TV. A few of the things that could slightly be improved is the smart home integration. I know that whenever I asked Google to turn on and off the TV, it said LG TV was not available. Same with using Amazon Assistant. So hopefully that can be improved over time. And there was a little stutter every once in a while just when I was using the menu to navigate through. Now, one feature that I'm really missing on this TV is the ability to mirror my phone to the screen. Now I'm using the Google Pixel 6 Pro, and when I go to cast my screen, it does not show up. So I ended up having to plug in my Chromecast with Google TV. So that is plugged in so I can mirror to it. But everything else I was able to do with the apps that are available on the LG TV. But I absolutely love the magic remote that comes with this. It's so cool to be able to have a remote that kind of has a mouse right on your TV. Entering input on this TV is better than any other smart TV device that I've used. I love that you have those quick apps where you can customize these to your shortcuts or your speed dial apps. And then you even have your favorite apps down here at the bottom. And when using voice control on this, it actually is very quick. Even if you're not using Google or the Amazon voice assistant, just searching on the TV itself, it is able to have that faster AI processing, and it's able to get you what you are looking for much, much faster. So if you have any further questions about the LG QNED mini LED TV, please let me know in the comments below. And if you would like to check one out, I'll leave a link in the description as well. If you want to also check out my C1 review, you can check that out here. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.